Hello, everybody. Peter the Booklover here, and this is Movie Talk. This is where I talk about the movies that I recently seen that I really enjoyed. And in this episode, episode 30, I'm going to talk about a movie that I really enjoyed. This is In Cold Blood. And this is a great movie, and we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. I'm Peter the Book Lover. I have a channel to where I talk about books and movies. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about In Cold Blood, starring Robert Blake and Scott Wilson. This is a fantastic movie from 1967, and we're going to talk about it, and hopefully we'll have a good time. But before I get into the movie, I want to actually thank you for coming by. I want my audience to know that I really appreciate you giving me your time. Thank you so much for that. So this is In Cold Blood, and this movie came out December 14th, 1967. And we're going to go over the director and the cast before I get into my opinion of this movie. So this movie was directed by Richard Brooks, and this guy directed another movie that I really enjoyed, and that is The Blackboard Jungle. That is a great movie. I really enjoyed it. It was the first movie they actually used rock and roll music. The song Rock Around the Clock Tonight was in the beginning of the movie. This is a great movie from the past. And it's in black and white, and it's a great movie. I really enjoyed that one. And that's the only two movies that I know by Richard Brooks. Now, the actor that plays Perry is played by Robert Blake. And Robert Blake was in a series that I remember from my youth, Beretta. And he had a bird in the series. And it wasn't a show that I watched all the time, but I watched a couple episodes, and I remembered him from that TV series. And he was also in The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. And the thing about it is, I really don't remember his performance very well. This was a very small role, but I'll tell you, the movie, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, is a fantastic movie. I love that movie very much. So, I highly recommend that one. Then we have Dick, and that is played by Scott Wilson. Now, Scott Wilson is in the TV show The Walking Dead. Now, that is a fantastic show. I really love that zombie show. It's a lot of fun. He plays Herschel in that show, and I really love his performance in that show. Totally different character. And then he was also in the movie Monster, which was a fantastic movie. I really love that movie. It's a great movie, and I recommend that movie. It's very serious. It's about a female serial killer. I forgot her name, but she's a serial killer that killed a bunch of men. And it's a great movie. Based on real life. I highly recommend that one. And he was also in Judge Dredd. Now, I love the movie Judge Dredd. I remember, and I'm talking of not the new version of Judge Dredd, but the one with Sylvester Stallone. And I enjoy that movie. I also love the song by Anthrax, based on Judge Dredd, the comic book. I've never read any comic books of that, but I've seen this movie with Sylvester Stallone, and it's a great movie. And he was also in a movie called G.I. Jane, and that is a fantastic movie. I love that, you know what I mean? Really strong performance by Debbie Moore. I think it's an incredible movie, and I highly recommend that. If you have not seen G.I. Jane, I highly recommend that. Especially if you like strong women characters, because she plays a badass in that movie. Scott Wilson was also in the movie In the Heat of the Night. And that is a fantastic Sidney Poitier movie. I really love that movie very much. Great performance by Rod Steiger, I think the other actor is. And that is a fantastic movie. I highly recommend you watch that movie if you haven't seen it. Now, Alan Dewey, I believe that's the person that's the police officer, and this is played by John Forsythe. And I know him from when I was a show that I watched when I was very young, the show Charlie's Angels. And I really liked that TV show when I was younger. I also liked the movies that they made in the movies they made later. And they're enjoyable movies. I enjoyed the TV show back in the day. I believe he's the guy that does the voice, Charlie, that talks to them. And it's like a little radio that they talk to. And he always gives them their assignments. And I believe he did that in the movies as well. And he was also in a TV show that I used to watch back in the day called Dynasty. And Dynasty, I didn't watch it that much, but I watched a couple episodes of it. And it was a pretty interesting TV show. I remember they had the Who Shot JR. And I'm not talking of they remade this TV show in the future, but I'm talking about the first time they had Dynasty, and those were pretty good shows. I enjoyed it. And then we have Herbert Cutter, and this was played by John McLean. And this guy also was in Dynasty, but this guy was also in the movie First Blood. Now that is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie very much. Great Sylvester Stallone movie. Highly recommend it. I don't remember him in that movie, but I believe he's the one with the dogs, though. And he was also in the Culpeper Cattle Company. And this is a Western that I've seen many times. And I think this is a fantastic movie. Now, the thing that surprises me that he plays a character in the Culpeper Cattle Company, it's way different than Herbert Cutler. And then, okay, and the last movie that he was in that I remember watching was a movie called Cool Hand Luke. And that is a wonderful movie. I really love it. The thing about it is there's a song called Civil War by Guns N' Roses. And the beginning is actually taken from this movie. This is a really great Paul Newman movie. And I really enjoyed this movie a lot. You know, there's a scene in this movie to where he eats a bunch of eggs. And I really like that scene, and I remember it very much. And it's a very interesting movie. So, that's all I'm going to talk about the actors in this movie. Okay, so let me give you my opinion of this movie. Now, the thing about this movie is, this movie starts out very slow. It shows them kind of plotting this crime. And you know, they're on their way to this farm to commit this crime. And the thing about it is they get to the house, and then they cut to other parts, and they tell you another part. Now, I watched this, the first time I watched this, I actually thought it was kind of lame, because I thought they were going to show them committing this crime, and then show them on the run. But this shows them going there, and then they show him on the run, and then later on in the movie, you go back to the crime, and you could see how serious this crime was. And it's pretty intense. This is not for the faint-hearted. This is a very intense movie, and it just gets more intense as the movie goes on. See, that might not be a thing for you, but I love movies like that. The movies that are very tense and engrossing, you know what I mean? So I really thought this movie was great. I really love the performances by Robert Blake and Scott Wilson. And John Forsythe does a fantastic job of being the cop that's going after them. And I really, really enjoyed this movie a lot. Plus, the guy that plays Herbert Cutler, he does a fantastic performance in this. And the whole family does a fantastic performance. You really feel bad for this family for going through what they're going through. And I highly recommend this movie. Now, I'm going to give you my rating of this movie. I think this movie is fantastic. That's why I give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's an excellent movie, and it's definitely worth your time, although it's not for the faint-hearted. And that's about it. So, I hope you enjoyed me talking about In Cold Blood. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor, hit the like button. It means a lot to me. When people hit the like button, it goes straight to my heart. Thank you. If you did it. And please let me know what you think in the comments. Have you seen this movie? What do you think of this movie? Any suggestions or anything else, man, or just say hi. I love the comment section. This is one of my favorite things of doing this, is talking to the people in the comment section. And if you subscribe to my channel, hopefully you're enjoying my videos and we're having a good time together. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribe. But if you haven't subscribed, please do me a favor, subscribe to my channel. I make 2 videos a week, and I make an effort to make these as good as I can, although they're far from perfect. So that's about it. I'm Peter the Book Lover, and I want to thank you for coming by, and I hope to see you in the next video.